That'd be a bad start. Josh Heron.
That's not. Now at 9, a presidential comeback. Donald Trump announces a third election campaign with a controversial speech.
And down goes Dayton. The running Rebels clip the wings of the Flyers in an upset win. Highlights and reaction just ahead.
And a swift crash, how one famous singer's fans crashed Ticketmaster.
Trump making the long anticipated.
Thank you for joining us today on Studio G. My name is Christopher Clark.
And I'm Hector Solomon. From trying to overturn the 2020 election, oh, excuse me, Chris, go ahead.
To inciting the Capitol insurrection on January 6th, former President Donald Trump announced Tuesday night he's now running for the White House. CNN reporter Kristen Holmes has more.
America's comeback starts right now.
Former President Donald Trump announcing another bid for the presidency.
2 years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again.
The twice impeached former president is aiming to be only the second commander-in-chief ever elected to 2 non-consecutive terms. Trump making the long-anticipated announcement in the wake of election losses from several of his endorsed candidates.
Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better, and frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through, and the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold. They don't quite feel it yet, but they will very soon.
Given the GOP's midterm losses, some Republicans are wary of another Trump presidential bid. It is widely expected he'll face primary challengers. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is seen as one possible contender to challenge the former president.
We just tell people to go check out the scoreboard from last Tuesday night. It was a hugely underwhelming, disappointing performance.
Another potential contender is his former vice president, Mike Pence.
I think we'll have better choices in the future.
President Biden, who has yet to announce whether he will seek re-election, tweeted after the announcement, quote, "Donald Trump failed America."
I believe I can beat Donald Trump again.
Trump's desire to announce his campaign early coming after the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, which advisors say further emboldened his decision to mount what he believes will be a triumphant political comeback. Trump is the subject of a bevy of lawsuits and federal investigations, including his possible involvement in the January 6th Capitol attack. Trump is fighting a subpoena issued by the House Select Committee investigating January 6th over providing documents and testimony to the committee.
A rapper known as Blueface was arrested Tuesday in connection to a shooting in Las Vegas on October 8th. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the rapper was taken into custody at Lolo's Chicken and Waffles in what appears to be an undercover operation. He has since been booked in the Clark County Detention Center for warrants of attempted murder and discharging a firearm in an occupied structure.
A Las Vegas teen made an escape after over a year of being locked in room. According to the police report, Addie Gonzalez and Maria Pasarin, the girl's mother and grandmother, were arrested on false imprisonment and child abuse. The report said that there was also a 13-year-old boy living there at the time. CPS services said there was 8 previous unsubstantiated reports, including allegations of abuse and neglect.
Start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
And NASA launched the Artemis 1 in the early hours of Wednesday morning Eastern Time from the Kennedy Space Center off the eastern coast of Florida. The successful launch comes after 2 postponements, one due to inclement weather and another due to a hydrogen leak. Artemis 1 does not actually have a crew on board. This is more of a test mission. However, the belief from NASA is that this will pave the way for astronauts to return to the lunar surface for the first time since the Apollo 17 mission in December of 1972. Atop the Artemis 1 is the Orion spacecraft, which is where the astronauts would be traveling. Orion broke off from Artemis after reaching space and will now complete its journey, orbiting the moon and returning to Earth, where it is scheduled to splash down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego on December 11th.
Now let's toss it over to Jade for weather.
Thanks, guys. We have another chilly one today with the current temperature of 48, but the sun is out, so that's going to help a little bit. And the wind speed is up to 13 miles per hour, which is not as bad as yesterday, but still going to be chilly. For our evening planner, we have temperatures that are going to drop to the 40. That is a much larger drop than yesterday, so look out for that as the night goes on and the sun goes to sleep. Temperatures across the valley are similar to yesterday as of now, but as I said, those are going to drop later on. We have temperatures in the 50s, just scraping that right now, or the high 40s. Guys, that's all we have for now. Stay with us for your 7-day. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you very much, Jade. And the killing of 3 UVA football players at the end of a field trip on Sunday has left a devastating impact on the Charlottesville community and the UVA campus. As the healing process begins, CNN reporter Elizabeth Holmes has more from Charlottesville.
Outside Scott Stadium, near the student section, a makeshift memorial growing by the minute. Flowers, notes for Deshaun Perry, Devin Chandler, and Lavelle Davis Jr., 3 football players killed the night of November 13th. Students stopping to pay their respects, many, like first-year Lucia Gable, who may not have known them.
That feeling of grief is something new, and especially for people that you didn't even know.
Across grounds, this message, Seaville Strong, with 1-15-41 for Davis, Chandler, and Perry.
It's where you live. It's where you live, and somebody came and shot people.
On that Sunday night around 10:30 p.m., University police responded to reports of shots fired near the Colbreth Road garage. Police say student and former football player Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. shot 5 people on a bus returning from a field trip to Washington, D.C., killing Davis, Chandler, and Perry, and injuring 2 other students. That leading to a 12-hour manhunt, putting the university on lockdown. Jones was arrested in Henrico County around 11 Monday morning. Governor Glenn Youngkin coming to pay his respects, teary-eyed in the wake of tragedy.
It's a moment for all of us to recognize that families are going to need to be supported. And the community here needs to be supported. It's just horrific. And I know that there's nothing that can be said. There's nothing that can be done in order to bring them any kind of comfort today.
Really thinking about them.
Though she does not feel safe, Gable says she feels supported.
We've been in that position a lot, but we've never been on the receiving side of it.
Now, a time for healing for the Who's, loved by Charlottesville so dearly.
This morning, the suspect Jones Jr. was denied bond in a Charlottesville court as new evidence from the crime is emerging. The Albemarle County prosecutor said at the hearing that according to a witness, Jones shot one of the victims as he was sleeping.
We are in the middle of No Shave November, and our reporter Jade Thomas sat down with a couple participants.
With November here, that means No Shave November is also here. We spoke with 2 UNLV students to see why they participate in No Shave November and what it means to them.
Hey, I'm Daniel Fisher, and I'm participating in No Shave November, doing it to raise awareness for men's mental health and prostate cancer. I've been participating in it since I could grow a beard, since juniors.
Yeah, saying this bad boy's been 2 weeks, so let's see what I can do till the 30th.
If you or anyone you know is participating in No Shave November and you want to donate to the cause, visit noshave.org.
Thank you so much for that, Jade. And I got to be honest, Chris, I'm participating in No Shave November, but through no what's it called? Unselfish reasons. I do have to hide a little bit of this face behind a beard. Some faces do need a beard. You, however, are doing much better without one.
Yeah, I got one going. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to be here at least until the end of November. So, but then it's going to get shaved. Yeah, but it's not for No Shave November. It's
so when we see you next week for the World Cup game, you will be a little bit shaggier than you are now.
Yes, I will be. Yes, so you can look forward to that.
You have something to look forward to, folks. We'll see you there. And from no shave to no coffee, baristas at a local Starbucks have joined in a wave of unionization efforts of the coffee chain. Employees at the Rainbow and Oakley location sent a letter to the Starbucks CEO, Howard Schultz, about their intent to form a union. The letter states that there has been no changes made to create a safe work environment, and employees have been silenced in the process of unionizing. And we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
This is CJ, CEO of CJ's Produce. I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather acquired Brantley Estates in the early 1950s. Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. I came up with every excuse. My grandmother got her shot. I saw how strong she was. Why can't I? CJ needs his father to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
And now we are looking at a downtown live look of Fremont Street, where the first tiny home community was developed in the valley earlier. Tiny homes for seniors are coming to the valley in a project that has been approved, and many hope that this could be a quick solution for the valley's housing shortage. Jeff Molaski of Ovation Development made the request for an affordable housing community near Rome and Decatur Boulevard. This will be the second tiny home community in the valley and is expected to be completed in 2 years' time.
And the famous Little White Chapel has tossed the bouquet to a new owner. Charlotte Richards announced she has sold the business to a Las Vegas wedding service. Cliff Evarts, the founder and CEO of Vegas Weddings, is grateful to be able to preserve Charlotte's legacy and will honor all current wedding reservations and retain employees, staff, and officiants. And also need help getting toys for your child this holiday season? The Angel Tree Christmas Assistance Program is now accepting applications. The Southern Nevada Salvation Army helped 3,500 children last year and are hoping to help families provide magical memories for as many children as possible to apply. Visit the Salvation Army Angel Tree website or call 702-870-4430 to donate toys for the upcoming holiday season. You can also visit 2900 West Palomino Lane Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And Garth Brooks has announced a new Las Vegas residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace. Garth Brooks Plus One will begin in May of 2023. Registration is open now for Ticketmaster and verified fans and will continue until Thursday, November 17th at 8 a.m. Tickets will then go on sale Monday, November 21st at 10 a.m. for registered fans.
And now, this is Studio G weather.
Now, if you have nothing to do tonight or you want to see some excitement, the Lady Rebels have a game and they face Utah Valley, and tip-off is at 4 p.m. It's an early one today, but it's going to be a good one. The game time temp is going to be 58, which is going to be one of the highest of the days, but it's going to be a good one, so make sure you check it out if you can. And for our 7-day, we have temperatures that are going to scrape the 60s. We're not seeing a drop-off or an increase as of now, but once we further into the week, we will see how the temperatures are going to look for next week. Guys, that's all we have for your weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks again, Jade. And a big night for UNLV athletics on Tuesday. The UNLV Running Rebels faced off against the number 21 ranked Dayton Flyers last night at the Thomas and Mack Center. And this game was the blackout game. Students wore their black gear and the team donned their black uniforms. The Running Rebels, though, fell down by as much as 12 points during the first half, but rallied back in the second to give the Flyers a fight. And then the Running Rebels ended up clipping the wings off the Flyers, knocking off the 21st ranked team in the nation 60-52 final score.
Obviously a highly emotional game with the a lot of energy, but just couldn't be more proud of them. The guys stepped up and responded. I think we faced a double-digit deficit twice, and both times it just came back swinging. But that's what these guys have done. That's what they do in practice every day, and they compete like crazy. And it was just great to see it pay off for them.
And moving on to the Vegas Golden Knights, they started fresh Tuesday night against the San Jose Sharks after their 9-game win streak was snapped. The VGK jumped out in front in this one, taking a 2-1 lead into the final frame, but the Sharks came back hard. 4 unanswered goals in the third period serves the VGK their second loss in a row.
They got some good bounces tonight, and they scored. And we were getting those bounces last week, so we know we need to play better. It wasn't good enough, but then again, there's some stuff that we did that was okay. So it's not like we're gonna sit here and be all negative on each other. We know we got a good hockey team. We just got to get back to doing what we do.
And the newest football team in the Valley, the Vegas Vipers of the XFL, they took part in the league's draft Tuesday, selecting quarterbacks. Jalen McClendon and Luis Perez. McClendon spent some time in the NFL with the Washington Commanders and Baltimore Ravens as well, while Perez was signed to 3 separate NFL rosters, most recently the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm excited for the market. Just obviously you got the Raiders here, you got the hockey team here, the WNBA team here, the AAA baseball team here. So I've done my research a little bit, but it's a bunch of teams here, and just to have another football team here, I think is going to. I hope that Vegas will be welcoming to that, and I know that we're definitely excited to be here.
It's very exciting to set the tone, and really year one's really going to set the tone of kind of what and who Vegas Vipers are. So, like I said, we're going to put on a good product on the field and hopefully win it all.
And it's going to be time for another edition of This Week in Post, where we're going to scour social media to share with you the top posts from around the Valley. And Chris, I know you've seen this one before, but first up we have from the Animal Shelter, an Instagram post that was soliciting for animal donations. We have an overage of pets in the Valley and in the shelter, and we need rescues. We need you to, yep, here we go, as you see it on your screen. The shelter is full and no kennels are spared. We need a good adoption week and we're desperate. Please, if you need a furry friend or you know somebody that needs a furry friend, please get them over to the Henderson Animal Shelter, fees for adoption are as low as $45. Anyone can afford this. Now, from the Reddit thread of the Vegas locals, we have this post coming in last week. As you can see, this car parked on top of a sign that says, "Welcome to friendly North Las Vegas." Doesn't feel very friendly when we're having cars run across the intersection. Now, this is not the first time we've seen a car on top of this sign. It's a very interesting intersection. We have to be careful out there. Up next from the Vegas locals thread is this picture from Little Darlings. They're always getting creative with their video board. Now hiring all ex-Twitter employees with a free blue check mark. Even more hot water for the these Twitter employees that now have to commit long-term this morning or be let go by Twitter, as Elon Musk has informed them. Up next from Tony Cardasco, I know we have to show it to you one more time, but Elvis and Dayton have left the building. This is a picture of Dayton guard Kobe Ellis. Now, he had 16 points on the night, but it was not enough to take down the Runnin' Rebels, who were led by Harless with 24 of his own. The Runnin' Rebels again taking down the number 21 team in the country last night. And finally, we have this sheet from every match on the World Cup that you can see going forward. It starts on Sunday. We have this on our Twitter and Instagram page. Download it, print it, get those office pools going. It starts this Sunday. You don't want to miss out on the action. It's going to be great. I think the U.S. has a lot of promise for this tournament. Now, that's all we have for this week. But remember, we want to know what you want to see more of on this. So tag us, tweet at us, share with us at Studio G _ UNLV. And remember, that Qatar page that you just saw for the World Cup, available on our social media sites. Please download it. Go ahead and get those office pools going because it starts this Sunday and you don't want to miss out. Get involved before it's too late.
Okay, and Taylor Swift fans were ready for it. The singer's pre-sale tickets for her new tour began on Tuesday, but fans reported that Ticketmaster's website was crashing and freezing on them during the purchase. Despite having a pre-sale code, Ticketmaster said there's been an unprecedented demand for tickets. While the company denied being down, they did urge fans to log in through the link they received via text rather than the main homepage. The Eras Tour kicks off March 18th in Arizona.
And Love, Birdie, and Jack Hammond. What do those three have in common? You'll find out with us after the break.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug, you know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
Okay, so as mentioned before the break, we do have Jack Hammond here with us, who he makes tennis rackets. 16, he's been playing tennis since he was 16 years old. He continues to grow here, and now he's a UNLV engineering student who has a goal to ultimately make tennis rackets. So I have to ask, Jack, obviously you don't hear a lot of people say, you know, they want to make tennis rackets. So what got you into doing this?
So it was a lot of the urge to want to make that perfect racket, because everyone's kind of unique with the unique play style, so you want that specific racket that's really meant for them. So kind of having that kind of different play style is more of like, I want this special type of racket. I don't want just the basic one. Yeah. I want some special type of racket.
Yeah.
So instead of, you know, buying it from a different company, I was like, hey, why not make my own design for it and then go from there.
Yeah, and I have to ask, just looking at the racket, is there a specific part of the racket that is like the key part of the racket to get right when you're making it, sort of thing?
So there are plenty of aspects to every tennis racket that kind of make it unique. With these rackets, these are from Yonex. They have this weird kind of like slant, like flat top at the head of the racket, you can say. But that just makes a higher swing spot for the racket, and it's a nice sweet spot on the racket itself compared to normal oval-shaped rackets. Sometimes a bit narrow, but sometimes that big kind of like sweet spot, you're able to just hit the ball a lot nicer with less pain in the arm, per se.
Okay, cool. And then we were talking before this that your dad's a tennis coach. So I have to ask, did that have anything to do with your choice of kind of getting into this sort of thing?
Oh yeah, so I've played tennis for 16 years. I've played for quite a while. So kind of always being on a tennis court and then having that kind of building aspect to me has really wanted me to just create tennis rackets down the line.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining us today, Jack. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Nice to hear your story. So thank you for joining us today on Studio G. That's going to be all we have. We'll bring you the latest and more tomorrow.